Ancient texts have just been discovered that explain exactly how the Nephilim survived the flood. Stay tuned, because it is much darker than anyone has ever told you. In the annals of biblical history, few figures evoke as much intrigue and speculation as the Nephilim. These enigmatic beings, often described as giants or fallen ones, have captivated the imaginations of scholars and theologians alike. Their mention in the book of Genesis, particularly in the context of the flood narrative, raises profound questions about their origins and significance. As we delve into this topic, we invite you to join us on an enlightening journey to uncover the hidden truths surrounding the Nephilim and their survival during one of the most cataclysmic events in biblical lore, the Great Flood. The Nephilim are often portrayed as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, a union that has sparked countless interpretations and debates. Their existence is not merely a footnote in Scripture. Rather, it serves as a pivotal element in understanding the moral and spiritual decline that led to God's decision to cleanse the earth through the flood. By examining the Nephilim's role in this narrative, we can gain insights into the broader themes of corruption, divine judgment, and redemption that permeate the Bible. Understanding the origins of the Nephilim is crucial as it sheds light on the complexities of human nature and the consequences of straying from divine principles. Their connection to the flood narrative is particularly significant, as it raises questions about how these beings could have survived such a monumental event. Did they possess unique attributes that allowed them to endure, or were there other factors at play? As we explore these questions, we aim to engage your curiosity and encourage you to think critically about the implications of the Nephilim's existence. This exploration is not just about ancient texts, it is about understanding the enduring impact of these figures on our spiritual and cultural landscapes. So prepare to embark on a thought-provoking journey as we unravel the mysteries of the Nephilim, their survival, and what it all means for our understanding of biblical history. Together, we will seek to illuminate the shadows of the past and uncover the truths that lie beneath the surface of this fascinating narrative. Join us as we delve deeper into the story of the Nephilim and their connection to the flood, revealing insights that may change the way you view these ancient texts forever. The origins of the Nephilim are steeped in mystery and intrigue, primarily derived from the biblical account found in Genesis. According to Scripture, the Nephilim are described as the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men. This phrase has been interpreted in various ways, but many scholars suggest that the sons of God refers to fallen angels who descended to earth and took human wives. This union is believed to have produced a race of giants, imbued with extraordinary strength and abilities, yet also marked by profound moral corruption. Their existence is often linked to the increasing wickedness that permeated the world, leading to God's decision to cleanse the earth through the Great Flood. The narrative emphasizes that the thoughts and intentions of humanity had become exceedingly evil, and the Nephilim, as embodiments of this corruption, played a significant role in the moral decay of society. God's reasons for flooding the earth were not merely punitive, they were also redemptive. The flood served as a means to eradicate the pervasive wickedness that had taken root, allowing for a fresh start for humanity. In this context, the Nephilim symbolize the consequences of straying from divine order, representing a fusion of the heavenly and earthly that resulted in chaos and violence. Their presence on earth was a direct challenge to the intended harmony of creation, prompting divine intervention. However, the narrative does not end with the flood. The survival of the Nephilim post-flood has sparked numerous theories and debates among scholars and theologians. Some suggest that remnants of the Nephilim may have survived through Noah's lineage, while others propose that they could have returned through other means, such as the continued influence of fallen angels. This raises intriguing questions about the nature of evil and its persistence in the world. Did the flood truly eradicate the Nephilim, or did they find a way to endure, continuing their legacy of corruption? Theories abound, ranging from the idea of hidden enclaves where these beings could have thrived to the possibility of their influence manifesting in different forms throughout history. As we explore these origins and the reasons behind the flood, we invite you to consider the implications of the Nephilim's existence and their enduring impact on humanity. Understanding their story is crucial to grasping the broader themes of divine judgment, redemption, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil that resonates throughout the biblical narrative. After the Great Flood, there are some old stories that talk about how certain ancient kings tried to bring back the Nephilim, these giant beings that were part human and part fallen angel. According to these stories, these kings performed special rituals that were meant to connect them with the fallen angels who were once cast out of heaven. In these rituals, the kings would wear special masks. These masks weren't just for hiding their faces, they were believed to have a much more powerful purpose. The idea was that by wearing these masks, the kings could allow the spirits of fallen angels to come into their bodies. This would make the kings kind of like a host for these powerful otherworldly beings. Once the fallen angels had entered their bodies, the kings would then have children with human women. The children born from these unions were believed to be different from ordinary humans. They were part human, part fallen angel. In a way, these children were seen as a new generation of Nephilim, even though they were only 1/3 fallen angel. This idea comes from a mix of ancient texts and legends. For example, the Book of Enoch and the Book of Giants, which are very old texts but not part of the Bible, talk about the Nephilim and the fallen angels. The Book of Enoch describes how these fallen angels taught humans many things, some of which were forbidden, and how they had children with human women. These ancient texts suggest that even after the Great Flood, there were still attempts to bring back the Nephilim by using rituals that involved masks and the spirits of fallen angels. The kings who performed these rituals believed that by allowing the fallen angels to inhabit them, they could gain great power and create a new generation of beings that were part human and part divine. In other ancient cultures, like those in Mesopotamia and Egypt, there were similar practices where priests or rulers would wear special masks or outfits to connect with gods or spirits. This idea of wearing something to allow a spirit to take over a person's body wasn't just limited to one place. It was something that appeared in different parts of the ancient world. These stories show us that people in ancient times were very fascinated by the idea of mixing the divine with the human, and they used rituals like this one to try to bring powerful beings like the Nephilim back into the world, even after they were supposedly wiped out by the Great Flood. Moses' insights into the Nephilim, particularly in the context of the Book of Giants, provide a fascinating lens through which to explore the survival and legacy of these enigmatic beings. The Book of Giants, an ancient text associated with the Enochian literature, expands upon the Genesis account, offering additional narratives about the Nephilim and their interactions with humanity. This text suggests that the Nephilim were not merely wiped out in the flood, but that their influence persisted in various forms, hinting at a deeper connection between these beings and the unfolding history of mankind. The Book of Giants presents a vivid portrayal of the Nephilim, detailing their struggles and the consequences of their actions, which ultimately led to their downfall. This connection is crucial for understanding how the Nephilim legacy may have survived beyond the flood, as it raises questions about the nature of evil and its ability to endure despite divine judgment. As we delve into these insights, we encourage viewers to revisit previous parts of our series to gain a comprehensive understanding of the Nephilim origins, their role in the flood narrative, and the implications of their survival. Each segment builds upon the last, weaving a rich tapestry of biblical history that reveals the complexities of these ancient figures. Moses' writings, particularly in the context of the Pentateuch, serve as a foundational source for understanding the Nephilim and their significance. His accounts not only document the events surrounding the flood, but also provide insights into the moral and spiritual lessons that can be gleaned from the Nephilim existence. Through Moses, we uncover hidden truths about the nature of humanity, the consequences of straying from divine principles, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. The significance of these writings cannot be overstated, as they offer a glimpse into the divine perspective on the Nephilim and their impact on the world. By examining these texts, we can better appreciate the complexities of the Nephilim narrative and its relevance to our understanding of biblical history. As we continue to explore this captivating topic, we invite you to join us in uncovering the layers of meaning behind Moses' insights and the Book of Giants. Together, we will seek to illuminate the mysteries surrounding the Nephilim, revealing truths that resonate through time and continue to shape our spiritual understanding today. The question of how the Nephilim returned after the flood has sparked a variety of theories, each attempting to reconcile the biblical narrative with the enigmatic presence of these beings. One popular belief suggests that giants may have somehow sneaked onto Noah's Ark, thus surviving the flood. Proponents of this theory argue that the Ark, being a massive vessel, could have provided ample hiding places for these beings, allowing them to evade detection. However, this notion raises significant questions about the logistics of such an event and the moral implications of allowing such beings to persist after divine judgment. Another theory posits that new fallen angels descended to earth after the flood, leading to a new generation of Nephilim. This idea suggests that the cycle of corruption and moral decay was not entirely eradicated by the flood, as the influence of these fallen angels could have reintroduced the Nephilim into the world. This theory aligns with certain interpretations of Scripture that highlight the ongoing struggle between good and evil, suggesting that the presence of malevolent forces continues to challenge humanity. To analyze these theories, we can turn to specific biblical verses that either support or refute them. For instance, Genesis 6:4 states, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them." This verse implies that the Nephilim existed both before and after the flood, lending some credence to the idea of their return. However, the ambiguity surrounding the sons of God and their actions complicates the interpretation, leaving room for various understandings. Additionally, the absence of explicit references to the Nephilim in the post-flood narrative raises questions about their actual survival. Encouraging critical thinking about the origins of the Nephilim in light of Scripture is essential for a deeper understanding of this complex topic. As we explore these theories, we must consider the broader themes of divine judgment, human agency, and the nature of evil. Are the Nephilim merely a cautionary tale, or do they represent a persistent reality in the spiritual realm? By examining the scriptural evidence and engaging with these theories, we can foster a more nuanced perspective on the Nephilim and their implications for our understanding of biblical history. Ultimately, the exploration of these theories invites us to reflect on the enduring struggle between good and evil and the lessons that can be drawn from the Nephilim legacy. The implications of Ham's lineage in the survival of the Nephilim present a fascinating intersection of biblical history and genetic theory. Ham, one of Noah's 3 sons, is significant not only for his role in the post-flood narrative, but also for the lineage that emerged from his descendants. Ham had 4 sons: Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, each of whom became the progenitors of various nations and peoples. The descendants of Ham, particularly through Canaan, are often associated with the giants mentioned in the Bible, suggesting a potential link to the Nephilim. This connection raises intriguing questions about the nature of these descendants and their possible ties to the remnants of the Nephilim after the flood. The curse of Canaan, pronounced by Noah after Canaan's actions, further complicates this narrative. In Genesis 9:25, Noah declares, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers." This curse not only establishes a significant theological and moral framework, but also implies a lasting impact on Canaan's descendants. Some interpretations suggest that this curse may have contributed to the perpetuation of wickedness and moral corruption within Canaan's lineage, potentially allowing for the survival of Nephilim-like traits. The implications of this curse extend beyond mere punishment. They suggest a genetic predisposition towards certain behaviors or characteristics that could be linked to the Nephilim. This brings us to the concept of recessive traits in genetics. If we consider the Nephilim as possessing unique physical and possibly behavioral traits, it is conceivable that these characteristics could be recessive, lying dormant within the genetic makeup of Ham's descendants. This means that while the Nephilim may not have been overtly present in the generations following the flood, their traits could resurface in future offspring, particularly within the lineage of Canaan. The idea that certain traits can skip generations and re-emerge in descendants adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of the Nephilim legacy. As we investigate these implications, we must consider the broader themes of divine judgment, human agency, and the ongoing struggle between good and evil. The survival of the Nephilim through Ham's lineage invites us to reflect on the moral and spiritual lessons embedded in these narratives. By examining the significance of Ham's sons and their descendants, the curse of Canaan, and the potential genetic implications, we can gain a deeper understanding of how the legacy of the Nephilim may have persisted throughout history, influencing the course of humanity in ways that resonate even today. The connection between Canaan's descendants and the presence of giants is a significant aspect of the biblical narrative, particularly in understanding the ongoing legacy of the Nephilim. The Canaanites, who descended from Canaan, the son of Ham, played a crucial role in the unfolding story of the Israelites and their conquest of the Promised Land. The Canaanites are often depicted in Scripture as a people marked by moral corruption and idolatry, practices that were in direct opposition to the commands of God. This backdrop sets the stage for the emergence of giants within their ranks, as the biblical accounts frequently associate the Canaanites with formidable beings, including the Enochian and the Rephaim, who are described as giants. These giants are often portrayed as fierce warriors, instilling fear in the hearts of the Israelites as they sought to claim the land promised to them by God. God's commands regarding the Canaanite nations are particularly telling. In Deuteronomy 7:1-2, God instructs the Israelites to completely destroy the Canaanite nations, stating, "When the Lord your God brings you into the land you are entering to possess and drives out before you many nations, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, 7 nations larger and stronger than you." This command underscores the severity of the Canaanites' sinful practices, which included child sacrifice, sexual immorality, and the worship of false gods. The presence of giants among the Canaanites is often interpreted as a manifestation of this moral decay, suggesting that the Nephilim influence persisted through their lineage. Understanding the Canaanite lineage in relation to the Nephilim is essential for grasping the broader themes of divine judgment and redemption in the biblical narrative. The Canaanites not only represent a continuation of the Nephilim legacy, but also serve as a cautionary tale about the consequences of straying from God's commandments. Their existence highlights the ongoing struggle between good and evil, as the Israelites were called to confront and eradicate the sinful practices that had taken root in the land. By examining the connection between Canaan's descendants and the giants, we can better appreciate the complexities of the biblical narrative and the implications of these ancient stories for contemporary faith. The Canaanites, as descendants of Canaan, embody the moral and spiritual challenges that arise when humanity deviates from divine principles. This understanding invites us to reflect on the lessons embedded in these narratives and their relevance to our own lives, emphasizing the importance of adhering to God's commands and recognizing the enduring impact of lineage and legacy in the ongoing story of humanity. In biblical times, the implications of incestuous relationships also play a significant role in understanding the genetic landscape of the era. After the flood, the population was limited to Noah and his family, which included his 3 sons and their wives. This close-knit genetic pool could have led to a higher likelihood of recessive traits surfacing, as the gene pool was restricted. Incestuous relationships, while often viewed negatively today, were not uncommon in the early generations of humanity as families sought to repopulate the earth. Such relationships could have facilitated the expression of unique traits, including those associated with giants, thereby allowing for the potential re-emergence of Nephilim-like characteristics in subsequent generations. Furthermore, the biblical narrative suggests that the presence of giants persisted in the land of Canaan, indicating that the genetic legacy of the Nephilim may have continued through various lineages. The stories of giants such as Goliath and the Enochian serve as reminders of this potential reemergence, suggesting that the traits associated with the Nephilim were not entirely eradicated. By examining the genetic aspects of Nephilim ritual, the implications of incestuous relationships, and the potential for giants to reappear, we can gain a deeper understanding of how the legacy of the Nephilim may have influenced the course of human history. This exploration invites us to reflect on the complexities of genetics, lineage, and the enduring impact of ancient narratives on our understanding of humanity today. In summarizing the key points discussed regarding the Nephilim and their survival, we have explored a rich tapestry of theories and insights that illuminate their enigmatic presence in biblical history. We began by examining the origins of the Nephilim, identified as the offspring of fallen angels and human women, which set the stage for understanding their significance in the context of the flood narrative. The flood, intended as a divine judgment against the pervasive wickedness of humanity, raises critical questions about how these beings could have survived such a cataclysmic event. We delved into various theories, including the possibility that some giants may have sneaked onto Noah's Ark, or that new fallen angels descended after the flood, leading to a resurgence of Nephilim-like beings. The exploration of Ham's lineage and the descendants of Canaan further highlighted the connection between the Nephilim and the giants mentioned in Scripture, emphasizing the moral decay that characterized the Canaanite nations. Additionally, we discussed the genetic aspects of the Nephilim ritual, considering how recessive traits could manifest in future generations and the implications of incestuous relationships in the early post-flood population. This genetic perspective opens up intriguing possibilities for the reemergence of giants throughout history. As we reflect on the significance of the Nephilim in biblical history, it becomes clear that they serve as a powerful symbol of the ongoing struggle between good and evil, divine judgment, and the consequences of straying from God's commandments. Their legacy invites us to consider the moral and spiritual lessons embedded in these ancient narratives, reminding us of the importance of adhering to divine principles in our own lives. We encourage you to take a moment to reflect on these insights and their implications for our understanding of humanity and spirituality. If you found this exploration of the Nephilim intriguing, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who may be interested in delving deeper into related content. Your engagement helps us continue to explore these fascinating topics and uncover the hidden truths within biblical history. Join us as we embark on further journeys into the mysteries of Scripture, seeking to illuminate the past and its relevance to our present and future. Thank you for being part of this exploration, and we look forward to sharing more insights with you soon.